Hello everyone, this is Prem Sodhani coming up with the next round of our quiz session, and in this session we generally discuss some of the very important current affairs in terms of questions and answers, right? So let's get started with the 15th December's questions and answers. This is the question number 1, that is with reference to United Nations Conference on Laws of Seas, that is UN clause, consider the following statements. The US has signed but not ratified the treaty, and the second is as per India's exclusive economic zone, that is EEZ Act, foreign warships including submarines cannot enter or pass through the territorial waters of India, right? So this is not true. US has never signed nor it ratified the convention of UN clause. This is the one thing. The second thing is, as far as India's exclusive economic zone act is concerned, this is this is not true. Foreign warship including submarines can have that entry permission in our territorial waters. The only condition is they have to inform the union government in prior consent is required of this union government. That is the one thing. The second is these submarines have the right of innocent passage, right? Innocent passage means they are not there for any warfare or they are not any kind of threat they are having for India's security, right? So innocent passage is allowed under the EEZ Act of India. That is not true. This is also not true. The answer would be neither 1 and 2 are true. Let me discuss here about the UN clause and the different type of the waters which are there. The first thing is, you are seeing here, this is the baseline that is determined by the nation itself. Then this is left towards this continent side or the country side of this water is known as internal waters, right, where all the national laws will be applicable. And here you can see 12 nautical mile from the baseline is known as territorial sea, and you can see here this area is the national air space of this country, that is the continental country, right? So when it comes to the territorial sea, they have the right of innocent passage. You have to remember this one. Right of innocent passage means they have to raise their own flag with Indian flag also, right? So it will be a kind of a signal that we are passing because of some reasons through your territorial sea. This is the innocent passage, right? When it comes to the another 12 nautical miles, so you can see here the national air space rights were limited to that area only. Now this is known as contiguous zone, and next from this baseline you can see here 1200 nautical miles distance is known as exclusive economic zone, that is EEZ. So in this EEZ, every country has economic rights here. Economic rights means exploration rights. Living or non-living resources can be explored by this country till this area, that is up to 200 nautical miles, right? And then this sea is beyond this exclusive economic zone, that is known as high seas. Here we can also explore the energy production resources, right? For example, tidal energy or the sea water can be used. Though this type of the things are allowed till this area, that is exclusive economic zone. So this was the according to the UN clause. That was the question number 1. Let me discuss here the question number 2, that is with reference to a smart system developed by DRDO. Consider the following statement. Under this mechanism, the torpedo is launched from a supersonic missile system. This missile system is a canister based system, right? First you should know what is a torpedo. So torpedo is a kind of weapon which is used underwater in from our navy side, right? So this torpedo has a kind of limited capacity. For example, this is submarine. So this torpedo can be launched up to the, for example, I can take the example that up to 50 kilometer distance it can be launched. It can be it can target the target till 50 kilometers. Okay? So it has its limitation. So what we have developed now with the help of this DRDO has developed this one, that is a supersonic missile assisted launch of torpedo, right? So what we are doing, we are actually using this torpedo and we are putting this torpedo on the supersonic missile system, and then we are launching this torpedo with the help of this missile system. For example, if we take the example, this is the target, and for example this is 1000 kilometer away from this warship of India. This is warship of India, right? So we have only 50 kilometer or say 100 kilometers distance capability of this torpedo. Now what we have developed, we have this canister based supersonic missile system. Now this missile will carry this torpedo to up to this distance, and now from this distance they can hit the target from this distance, right? So this is a supersonic assisted torpedo delivery. Means what we are doing, we are actually targeting the far beyond targets with the help of this supersonic missile. So this was canister based mobile vehicle which we have used. And what is this canister means? Canister means there is a if you want to transport a particular missile, there should be a controlled atmosphere for that missile. Means that should not trigger the missile. The atmosphere around the missile should be controlled one, and that is known as canister atmosphere, right? So this can be transported, this can be launched with the help of this canister based mobile system. In the trucks you might have seen the pictures, right? So this is all about this torpedo system. So the first statement says under this mechanism torpedo is launched from a supersonic missile system. That is true. The second says this missile system is a canister based. That is also true. So both of them are true. The answer is both 1 and 2. Okay, so let me show you the picture. This is the missile system, and you can see this one. This is the torpedo which is being carried by this missile system, right? So we are actually extending our capabilities. Our warship have now longer distances capability would be there with the help of this smart system, right? This was developed by DRDO. Coming to the next question, that is Operation Birbil, sometimes seen in news, is associated with, this is the illegal trade in wildcat and wild bird, right? This is the operation of Wildlife Crime Control Bureau, right? We have so far seen some of the important operation of this one. That is, for example, we discussed about Clean Art operation. So this was for mongoose protection, right? We have also seen Operation Save Kurma. Operation Save Kurma was all about turtle and tortoise, right? We have also seen about this Operation Soft Gold. Soft gold was to curb the practices of illegal trade in Shahtush shawl, right? Shahtush. I discussed this question yesterday also. The Operation Soft Gold we discussed there also, and these are the one of famous operations of this WCCB. And this is the one more addition in this list, that is Operation Birbil, that is related to the wildcat and wild birds, right? So through this BIR you can remember this is about wild birds, right? So this was the question. So these are some other important operations of this WCCB. Okay, coming to the next question, that is with reference to Universal Service Obligation Fund, consider the following statements. The first says USO Fund, a universal service levy, is charged from all the telecom operators on their adjusted gross revenue. The second says it is a statutory fund. So this is a statutory fund, that is true. When it comes to the USO Fund, the legal backup is provided to this fund through Indian Telegraph Act. Indian Telegraph Act 2003, right? So this act provides this legal backing to this USO fund. This is the one thing. The second thing is the amount which is collected with the help of this universal levy is this generally goes to Consolidated Fund of India. Means if you want to withdraw the amount from this Consolidated Fund of India, you need to take the approval of Parliament. Parliament's approval is required, right? Parliament's approval is required. So this is the Universal Service Obligation Fund. Now The statement says this is charged through, from these telecom operators, and that is charged on their adjusted gross revenue. Now when this term appears, that is adjusted gross revenue, let me tell you about this AGR term. So it was the 1999. Till then these telecom operators had to pay certain amount of spectrum, fees and license fees. But in 1999 it was decided now they have to provide some amount of their AGR as a kind of tax, right? So this was this appeared in 1999. Now when it comes to the AGR, according to the telecom companies, this AGR should accrue from only core practices of these companies. For example, core practices means the revenue which is generated using these licenses, using their practices, for example, SMS, net use and all these things, that should accrue this core, that should accrue the AGR, right? But according to the government of India, other profits, for example, if they are earning something from their rents, from their dividends, that should also be the part of this AGR. And this was the dispute between these telecom companies and between government of India. And here telecom dispute tribunal, that is settlement appellate tribunal, this gave the judgment in favor of the telecom companies that this AGR should be based on the core practices only. But it was the government of India which decided to go to the Supreme Court of India, and in 2019 Supreme Court gave the judgment in favor of the government of India, right? And now these telecom companies have to pay this much of the amount to the government of India, right, as a backlog. So this is about the AGR. So AGR, you can now think that is the this is the profit, or this is the adjusted gross revenue out of the core as well as non-core services of these telecom companies, right? So this is the now new definition according to the 2019 SC judgment. So both of these are true. This is charged on this AGR, and this is also a statutory fund according to the Indian Telegraph Act. This was provided with the legal backup. Okay, so this is about this USO. So both 1 and 2 are correct options. Coming to the next question, that is with reference to, these are the statements given to you, that is microplastics are small plastic pieces less than 5 nanometer long which can be harmful to the ocean and aquatic life, right? This is about microplastic. Now the second says carbon paper, medical waste and glass are examples of biodegradable waste. Okay, the first is microplastics are, when it comes to the definition, microplastic is less than 5 mm, not nanometer, that should be mm, millimeter, right? So this is you have to be very careful about, this is given nanometer. So this one statement is incorrect one. Now when it comes to the carbon paper or when it comes to the medical waste, so when it comes to the waste, that can be of two types. One is biodegradable, that can easily be decomposed with the help of bacteria, right, with the help of that dead food chain system. But when it comes to the medical waste, that cannot be biodegradable. For example, if you want to see, there is the syringe that cannot be diluted in a very longer period of time with the help of these bacteria, means that cannot be biodegraded so easily. So this statement is also incorrect. The answer would be neither 1 and 2 are correct one, right? So this is the answer of this question. Coming to the next question, that is related to the PM Poshan, that is Poshan Shakti Nirman. These words are taken, that is Poshan Shakti Nirman scheme was earlier popularly known as midday meal scheme. This is the statement 1. The second says it covers all school children studying in class 1 to 5, government schools and government aided schools, right? Why this is in news? Because this scheme of PM Poshan has been passed, has been given approval for the period of 2021 to 2025 and 26, right? From the it got the approval from the cabinet committee, right? Now what is this scheme all about? This scheme is to provide one hot meal to the students of class 1 to 8, right? Not 1 to 5, and this is given here 1 to 5. So this is class 1 to 8, so this statement is not correct. So one hot meal to the students of class 1 to 8, and the school should be government schools, or they are to be supported from the government aid, right? So this is true, but this is not true. 1 and 5 is not there. 1 to 8 class students are to be served with this meal, one hot meal. And yes, this is the renaming of that scheme that was earlier famously known as midday meal scheme, because you are providing a meal, a hot meal in a day to these students. That's why midday meal scheme. So this one statement is true, but 2 is not true. The answer would be 1 only. Okay, coming to the end of this session. So this was all about today's session. I hope you have got some good understanding on these topics. So we'll meet in the 16 December's current affair quiz tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching this initiative. If you have any suggestion or doubt, you can comment that down in the comment section. Thank you very much.
Current Affairs by ForumIAS is an all-in-one program that covers the dynamic aspect of the syllabus from both prelims and mains perspective. Last year, we have helped more than 100 students crack IAS with our current affairs classes.